Kame house party.
Aaron and Vince invite you all to come along. We'll talk about the crazy world of Dragon Ball. Let's talk about the shows, the funny, the random, the karate, the balls, the wishes, the Kame, the house party. Shows, the funny, the random, the karate, the balls, the wishes, the Kame, the house party.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Kame House Party. I'm Vince,
I'm Aaron.
and this is the universe's best, number one, maybe the only improv comedy Dragon Ball watch along podcast. And we've been doing it first, best for the longest time. We're back again for another week, another episode to talk about. And this one is a big doozy. I'm bringing out doozy for this description of this episode. So I hope you're ready to get into it like we are. But before we jump in, before we cross the threshold of the party, we've got to do some Kame housekeeping. We got to clean up before we get started. Because we don't want to bring you into a messy party. It's got to be nice when you first step in. You're like, look at these floors. I could drink shots off these floors.
I will.
And I
At
will.
Like 2 a.m.
when no booze will go to waste. Similarly to how nothing in any episode of Dragon Ball ever goes to waste on this podcast. But before we get into all that, we got to do our world famous UN sanctioned 1 minute roundup whip sound.
So you're telling me this contraption makes ice here on the plains?
Indubitably, sir. Yes, of course. This is called an ice box. Yes, I bring it from the east of the country. I crossed the jagged peaks and the low valleys, your great Rio Grande River. I did all of that to bring you ice.
On a train, or did you horseback?
Ah, yes, great question. I traveled on all means of transport. A horse-drawn carriage, an iron horse, the train you speak of.
Approved.
A hot air balloon, the newest form of aero transportation.
European.
Have you heard of a whirligig?
I've not. Is this another newfangled contraption?
Oh, you know it. It's kind of like a bird, but made out of paper and wood. It's incredible.
A paper bird. A paper wooden bird
That's right.
that you flew on
Yes.
to bring us a contraption that makes a bunch of ice.
And I'm not done. I got on a ferry across the river and a
this is
rowboat
complex.
to cross a creek.
The freight charge seems really expensive on a ferry.
There's no charge too small for me to bring you this, the amazing ice box.
I mean, I noticed some mud on your boots. Were there any other areas you traversed?
Ah, yes. We went south through the bogs of the Florida Peninsula. In
Wow,
order
you really went the long way, didn't you?
We went the long way to bring this
Scenic
ice
route.
box to the west.
I also noticed there's a couple of bullet holes in there.
Ah, of course. The journey west was not an easy one. There was peril to be had. I was shot by all manner of projectiles, stones thrown at me by little children, all the way to bullets from revolvers of
From
the
adult
west
children.
from adult children.
And
scene. All right, everybody. That is our 1 minute roundup, which is our improvised Western themed improv scene that we use to loosen or tighten our muscles to get ready to talk some improv and get into it as we discuss the episode proper. But that leads into the 1 minute roundup proper, where one of us, this time Aaron, has 60 seconds. That's right. Fear. I want to see it in your eyes because you got 60 seconds to summarize everything that has happened in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z up until this point. We're talking hundreds of episodes, okay? That's how I'm going to describe it, is hundreds of episodes. We do this so you don't have to go back and listen to every single episode of Kame House Party or watch every episode of Dragon Ball Z to get caught up to where we are. Though we wish you would. If you got the time, do it. If you're doing time, why not? It's right there for you.
We're contraband in most prisons.
That's
I
right.
think.
It's a guerrilla marketing scheme. I've been sending like pallets of USB drives with all of our episodes into prisons.
Yeah. Have episodes of the podcast been in someone's butt? That's the question.
I mean,
That I don't know if I want the answer to.
maybe if you got an iPod Nano and you don't want to lose it, maybe that's how you're doing it. But
Yeah.
Aaron, that's enough stalling.
Wax cylinders right up there.
Well, I heard that somebody does read the transcript of the podcast on microfilm. That's one way. It saves space. But look, you're trying to get me off topic because you got to do your 1 minute roundup, and you can't do it until I ask you the question.
Yeah,
Aaron,
I was just gonna say, I can distract you by talking about butts.
it's so easy. My mind is so many places. Little John videos, booty, 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 booty. Yin Yang Twins videos, booty, 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 booty. Fat Man Scoop, it's all there. But see, you did it again.
Eh?
Because you have to
Okay.
do your 1 minute roundup, and I have to ask you, Aaron, are you ready to round up?
I am. Because Dragon Ball is about 7 magic crystal balls. If you collect them all, you get any wish you want. It mainly stars Goku. He's our little hero. He was a little monkey boy. He learned martial arts, entered tournaments. He stopped bad people from taking over the world using the Dragon Balls. He stopped demons. He then became a... Anyway, look. He grew up, stopped demons, got married, had a kid. Found out he's actually from space. His brother came down, killed him. He trained really hard in the afterlife, came back to defeat other people from his home planet, which he did. But it turns out the Dragon Balls got wiped out because of certain circumstances. That him and his friends had to go to another planet called Namek to try and find to try and get more Dragon Balls. There they meet like a bunch of crazy strong space dudes that Goku and his friends barely beat, and now Goku and Frieza, the baddest dude in space, they had this long drawn out battle. Goku built a giant spirit bomb, hit Frieza with it. Maybe Frieza's dead now. Ooh,
Comprehensive
Blah.
to say the least. You're doing it. Look, again, if anybody knows someone who works over at Micro Machines, we are ready. We have done the work. We've put in the hours, to quote a Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Put in the hours, put in the work. Samoan in my veins. Right now. We'll take that contract. Easy peasy. But now that that's over, we have to get into the final piece of Kame Housekeeping, where I tell you, the listener, that Aaron and I watch 2 different versions of the show. I watch the English dubbed version, while Aaron watches the Japanese language English subtitle version, because comparing and contrasting is fun. It's the way of the world, and we're here to do it about Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. And usually the first thing that is different is the title. And I will start with the English title of this week's episode, which is Episode 95 of Dragon Ball Z, Transformed at Last.
close.
Okay.
I thought you would have more because
I
do.
also thought there may have been more for the English title, just because of what happens in this episode.
Yeah, my title is less coy. They're really putting it out there.
Okay.
So the Japanese language title, roughly translated for episode 95 of Dragon Ball Z, is Transformed at Last. Son Goku, the legendary Super Saiyan. It's happening. It's
happening.
It's doing it. We're doing it.
We're actually doing. It's kind of crazy, Aaron, that almost our entire podcasting career hinges on this episode.
Led to this. Oh boy, this is
Like that, I just hear that song. At last, my love has come
Yeah.
along.
yeah. This is
All them
we're,
Dragon Balls are gone.
we're at our podcast reception. Goku is stepping on. It's our first dance with him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we're both like, oh my god, you dyed your hair.
After the ceremony,
Looks so good. How'd you pull that off?
I'd see my friends die.
Too much. Because now we can get into it with all that done, with the titles explained. Let's hit it. Let's hit this 95th episode of Dragon Ball. This landmark episode in anime history. Anime history was made all those years ago here. Krillin and Gohan are trying to kind of put together where everybody is, what's kind of happening. Is Frieza really defeated? Where is Goku? Where is Piccolo? They linger on that for a bit. Of course, after a minute, what do we see? A Piccolo hand, a Piccolo arm rising out of the water. He is got Goku in tow. Everybody seems to have made it out. Everybody's alive. Victory is here for our intrepid young warriors. We get I think the first Goku victory thumbs up.
Mm-hmm. Gives it to Krillin.
Gives it to Krillin, resting on his son. Daddy's home. Finally a happy, smiling Gohan. He's not drenched in fear and loathing. But we can't get out of this scene without, I think, commenting. And I don't know if this was different for you, but Krillin makes a comment, kind of like embarrassed, saying, "Oh man, I'm so glad it's finally over. I didn't think I was gonna make it home for a while." I was like, "Why'd you say that, dude? Why would you say that?"
That is the worst thing in a horrible situation. Just you gotta assume until you are in your bed at home, you gotta assume the danger is still out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mine is a little different because Krillin, he gets embarrassed. He kind of does say this. He's like, "Oh, I didn't think I'd get back. I at least wanted to try it once." For the listening audience, I gave a little look.
God.
I gave a knowing look. But then he finishes with like, "Well, I wanted to get married."
Oh, okay.
And he's very embarrassed. But we all know what that's code for.
We all know it.
We all know why. We all know why he wants to get married.
Because, he saw what happened to Goku. He's like, Goku got married? Then he had a kid. I know what that means.
I know. Wait a minute. 2 + 2. Turtle Hermit math.
Yeah. It's like study, sleep plenty, eat plenty, train hard. Ooh, Goku had sex.
Yeah, it's like, Krillin is such a dummy. He probably, and maybe a Christian, I don't know. He probably does think like, well, if I want to have sex, I have to get married first. That's how that works.
I gotta make a woman out of her before I make a.
I gotta
woman
put a
out of
ring
her.
on. I gotta put a ring on it before I get to put something on me. I don't know the mechanics of it.
Yeah, he's just woefully ignorant. He's like, I'm lost in this analogy.
I know something goes in something. We'll figure. You know what? We'll figure it out on the day.
Can I use my Destructo disc?
Krillin, no.
Krillin, absolutely not.
But yeah, it was a weird moment because everyone laughs afterwards, including Piccolo.
Yes.
Like, dang, he's really softened up.
Or Piccolo's like, that's hilarious. I had sex like 45 minutes ago. This was
rad.
Great.
Wait, am I married?
Wait, I don't see a ring on it.
Nail, you'd never proposed.
Oh, I'm sorry, Piccolo. I was so caught up in the moment.
Yeah, we just Namekian eloped. That's not how I pictured it, honestly.
Piccolo's like, hey, Nail, why don't we get married on Earth? Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. I don't know. Piccolo, I think that would be mainly your friends and relatives. My relatives would have to travel
Mm-hmm.
unless we found them but they're also dead. So maybe that's for, you know what? Yeah, let's do it on Earth. You talked me into it.
Let's go to Vegas right now.
Yeah. Oh God, you're getting on your knee. It's happening.
It's happening. Guru, it finally happened.
Let me post a picture of this ring on Namekian Insta. That's all you need. It's a picture of your hand with a ring on it, and then an emoji that just has a ring. Everyone gets it.
Everyone gets it. No caption needed.
They know what's up.
Speaking of kind of what's up.
Ooh, I know you're trying to move to another planet.
Yeah, I was going to.
But for this episode, I teared up twice.
Ooh, okay.
And this was one of those because Gohan looks at Piccolo, so Unky Piccolo, he's so happy. Piccolo smiles, places his hand on the little boy's head, and he didn't say anything, but he's saying good job, and I'm like, oh no.
Now you're
eyes.
making me, because I didn't. I was too busy trying to get to the second half of the episode.
Yeah, you're scrubbing through.
I was scrubbing through. I was like, come on.
Whatever, we know.
Father, son, yeah. Father, son, yeah.
It was
but that is
it's very
nice
sweet moment.
And it's so nice that Gohan's getting like all the recognition and validation from his dad and his green dad.
I think as much as this whole storyline, once Goku arrives, is about Goku. The little stuff with Gohan, like getting more confident in fighting and being more assured of himself, and Piccolo giving anyone recognition. That's high praise.
Because Gohan really did grow a significant amount from the beginning of this saga, from being the cute little boy in the suit to being the hardened warrior in a different kind of suit. But we got a sense of Gohan's sense of morality, pride, his latent ability to, kick immense ass. Like he did kick Frieza's second form's ass.
Just getting over his fears. It's been
learning that he is truly strong. It's great. Namek Saga. It's a cool saga. We're not quite done with it yet.
No.
I don't want to.
I want to
get
say,
ahead of
hold on.
myself.
What's this number? Yeah, we probably have 10 more episodes left.
We've got. There's a lot of talking. I think after this, but it's cool talking, and there's dragons and cool stuff like that happening in the background. But we can't get too far ahead because we're gonna cut to another planet. King Kai celebrating Goku's victory. He's won. He did it. He defeated Frieza.
With the Genki Dama that I taught him, by the way.
Very proud. Another proud Papa moment. I wish Gregory and Bubbles were there to celebrate with them because they don't show up in this episode at all.
Did
they were a
get
huge
knocked
part
out?
of Goku's. Oh, maybe they got knocked out.
I think they're in bed with giant thermometers in their mouths.
Thermometers and ice packs on their head.
X's over their eyes. No, that would mean they're dead. They have the swirlies.
Swirlies.
There we
Absolutely. Yeah. They're dizzy. They're so dizzy they can't get up, and they have a fever. I got punched so hard I got the flu. That's actually Berta's famous flu technique. But I love this next sequence. It's a cool fight sequence because our Z boys, after learning that Goku has won, Tien says, if Goku's won, then so can we. They shed their fear of fighting the Ginyu Force. Tien takes on Jason Berter's purple comet attack head on, just powering through it, sending them all the way to Hiffle. We get to see Yamcha do something very cool. I don't know what this technique is that he uses, but he knocks Raccoon into the air, and then like kind of does an energy blast kind of punch into his back, sending him to Hiffle. And then
Well-
the nice little go ahead.
Does Yamcha have a line
If
after he sends Raccoon to hell?
I did not. I didn't write it down. If you want to give us yours,
It's not very good. It was just very dumb. I was just mad at him. His quip, probably the strongest opponent he'll ever. Yeah, this is the strongest person he'll ever beat single-handedly ever again. He says, "Order up."
order up.
Order up.
What? Yamcha,
Come on, you can do better.
you've been studying under the comedic mastermind that is King Kai, and order up is all you came up with?
Looks like Raccoon went boom.
Thank you. Easy.
Done.
Easy. I'm not even. There's no pitching on top of that. You don't go
First
anywhere
thought,
from
best
that.
thought.
First thought, best thought. And then to cap this little sequence, we have Chiao Tzu striking fear into Goldo's heart.
Oh man, a little creep.
A little creepy. And he used the Clown Prince of Dragon Ball. Used his stature and size and psychic ability to, with one blast, send Goldo hurtling towards hell or Hiffle.
Yeah, I hated his little smile on his little creepy smile on his face. And they do like a profile and he looks like a little Muppet. And I just hated the whole ordeal of how Chiaotzu looked. Dead-eyed.
Oh yeah, and I think I like the sequence where we see the two ogres that run. They run hell. They see the Ginyu Force trying to get out of the lake, and they're like, "It's not that easy to get out of here." Rakuma's like, "Oh yeah, watch this." Of course, like many women in this country have experienced, he hit the glass ceiling. And Guldo is the nice comedic button as he falls from King Kai's planet, splashing them back into the blood lake. But is this, I mean, you kind of pointed, is this the last time Chaozu, Tien, and Yamcha all defeat powerful enemies? Maybe Tien has another win under his belt.
Tien does have that, I think, very famous moment when fighting Cell, where it's, I just have to keep Cell down by using the tri-beam, which we know, if you're a longtime listener, takes away some of his life force.
Yep.
But it's worth the sacrifice if he can I just need to, I think that's the last big moment I remember from Tien. Yamcha, I think, plays baseball some more. Chaozu bombs a hospital, I think, or puts a bomb on a ferry and then says to the other ferry, "You're in charge of the trigger, and you should. If you don't blow them up, I'll blow you up." I think that's in an episode.
Yeah, no, that's in the. I remember that episode because Mr. Satan is there, and he's like kind of the commissioner. Of that like scene,
The commissioner. Go up, continue.
And I think it this is probably the last time we ever see Launch, but she is dressed like a cat, because anime and it's just one of those things, and like, look, that's it. That's what happens.
That's the episode. Yeah.
That's that episode. We won't have to cover it when we get there because we just did, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just assume we cover that episode.
Yeah.
We have, after all that is done, the Ginyu Force are drowning in a blood lake full of blood. King Kai steps out. He's like, I set this up, boys. I know you need some real combat training, so I had King Yama let him pass through as a favor to me, and he did great. And then, of course, King Kai, he ends on a joke, kind of. So in my version, the translated pun is your training partners have parted.
Good pun.
Not bad.
Not the best pun, but like it's a pun appropriate to what just happened.
It's definitely wordplay.
It's good. Yes. From a comedic perspective, what do you give it? Like a B minus maybe?
Yeah, that's a C plus, I guess.
Okay. You're harsher. You're a
The
harsher grade.
the rhythm's a little off. It doesn't flow very well, but I understand that it's it's translated from another language on top of trying to make it make sense within the English language. So I get that's a lot of level. Maybe you know what? Let's go B. I understand the effort that went into it.
We'll meet in the middle with a B minus.
B's get
Because Yamcha just is there and he brings a great point average down.
yeah, we have to raise that curve up. Look, B's get degrees.
That's right.
Did you not? Do you have the joke on your end?
On my end, it wasn't a pun. It was King Kai saying like, "Oh, I guess you guys are lucky I didn't invite Frieza, right?" And they're all like, "No, don't fucking invite that guy."
Yeah. Should I?
But yeah, I didn't get the pun. I'm also curious if there might be some musical differences as we get into the second half of the episode, but I'll hold that because we need to cut to commercial.
All right. For those of you that are listening to the podcast, which I think is a majority of you, we're going to play something and it's going to be like, you're going to be a little confused, but it's like a minute long. We're going to play it and then we'll talk about what we all listened / watched.
All
right, here we go.
Variety Show Z. Variety. From Variety Show Z. Variety. From Variety. TV. Variety. From Variety Show Z. Variety. From Variety Show Z. Variety Show Z. TV.
Vince and Aaron are hosting a live comedy variety show on Twitch on March 24th. That's twitch.tv/Kame House Party, March 24th, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Look, thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you for listening.
First of all, that was made by Vince himself. And
I got in the lab. I was in there like Dre at the Super Bowl.
It tickles me to no end. That's probably the fifth time I've watched this. But here's the takeaway. We are doing a variety comedy show on March 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern on our Twitch channel. We're gonna have a bunch of guests. Some of them have been on the podcast before or on our streams before. Some are new faces that we can introduce you to. And we're closing out the night with Vince and I doing a fully improvised episode of Dragon Ball based on some suggestion. I forget what we'll do. We haven't figured that out yet at this point. But look, fully improvised Dragon Ball Z. That's what's going to happen from the two of us. Mark those calendarinos. And yeah, just watch some good comedy. Any donations that we get for that show will be split amongst all the performers, excluding us. We don't need that. We want to help. We want to thank these nice folks for coming to hang out for a little bit, and showing their comedy skills. But that's
it's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a fun night. I'm really excited about how this lineup is shaping up, and I mean, it's been forever since either of us have hosted an actual live comedy show, and I'm getting the butterflies just thinking about it. I'm charging up my key. I'm doing mental training. I'm doing all of it.
And we'll have guest announcements next week, I think, once we're solid on that. But just just come hang out on Twitch and have a good laugh.
Yeah, grab an age appropriate beverage to enjoy while you watch. Perfect time to, I don't know, if you got the sticky icky, bring it on with you, because it's gonna be fun. These folks that we've reached out to are hilarious, and you're gonna love it. So stay tuned, stay glued to our socials, everything at Kame House Party, and we'll see you. We'll see you then.
Piccolo's little antennas just waving in the wind because he doesn't have hair. And they're like, wait, how do we show wind? Shit.
Mhm.
I mean, Krillin at least has clothes.
Right. Sorry, there's a fly. As I tried to defeat the fly in this room, I was kind of tickled by this next moment. They're kind of like planning how they're going to get home. Goku says, "Oh man, if we leave now, we can make it home in 5 days." Gohan's like, "I get to see my mommy. Nice."
Sweet, bro.
Sweet, bro. I get to hug my mom. Hell yeah. There's nothing better though than
A mom hug's a good hug.
a mom hug after a long trip. So I feel Gohan. I think Piccolo's probably excited to get off of Namek, but is a little bit. I mean, he's happy that at least his people can rest easy now that Frieza has been defeated. And they can still wish everybody back to life on the Dragon Balls. Everything's there. Victory achieved. Krillin then gets startled by something. He's like, "Oh my gosh!" And everybody's shook for a moment. And he goes, "We forgot about Bulma."
Womp womp.
Wah, 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 wah. And Goku says this line.
Ooh, okay.
"Geez, Krillin, you had me scared for a second. I thought Frieza was still alive."
That's pretty much what he said in mine.
And then I was like, "Oh, right.
Oh yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
a couple fake. They don't do 3 fake outs. They don't do
Right.
rule of 3s. on
They
this.
did us a favor, because if they had done a rule of 3s, we wouldn't have gotten this great reveal until the next episode.
Yeah. I just maybe that's too much. If they did the rule of 3s, I feel like they'd have to do it like back to back. But I'm curious if you got the line from Krillin, who's like, "Well, in some senses, Bulma-san is even scarier than Frieza."
They kept that through.
When you think, look, Goku, when you think about it, technically,
which is so rude. Krillin, that's like hella mean.
isn't that your friend?
Frieza just committed a genocide, and you're like, "Oh, my friend is just as bad."
Yeah. Just trying to be part of the conversation. It's like, oh, I get. Oh, your entire planet was destroyed. I get it. My friend's Bulma.
No, Piccolo, I totally understand. You watched basically your nephew and like one of your great ancestors, important to your people, die in front of you through the memories of somebody that you had sex with and are planning on marrying. But like,
Invites
this
in the
chick's
mail,
got
continue.
blue hair and a bad attitude.
Krillin, I just think that we shouldn't compare
No.
misery, but like I think you're out of your depths here.
I mean, speaking of depths, there's no end to the malice in this blue-haired lady's heart.
What is the worst thing she has done to you? Yelled, bonked you on the head comically.
So she did eat all the snacks on the ship and made a
Okay.
huge mess.
See that I won't try to relate to that because I don't eat. See how easy that is. Sometimes I can just listen.
And I've saved her from children with space guns, and
That seems like a night. That's not something she did to you.
I've also saved her from these guys who impersonated Namekians.
Why do you keep saving her if you just don't like her that much? Can we dig into that?
Look,
hop on this couch.
I'll sit down, but I just kind of want to get this out because
Yeah. Can you
we're
put
not
your
comparing,
hand?
but I just wanted to say that she's got all this technology and she doesn't share it with me.
All right. Did you ask her for this technology? Did you ask if she could share some of her technology?
I'm not trying to die, bro. Okay.
She can't. I mean, unless this Bulma has made some sort of mind reading device.
She could.
Well,
she could.
It seems like currently she cannot read your mind. So if you have needs that she's not meeting in your friendship, you need to express that.
Wow. I really didn't think of that before, and maybe I'll consider it when she finally gives me a ride on her hover bike. Gosh, I mean, I don't know. I know like you're dealing with a lot, and everything that's happened it's just so much like. But I gave my energy to fight Frieza. I barely flew over here.
It was very funny. Yes,
it was like 20 yards, and I thought I was going to drop into the water.
Honestly, me and Goku was like, "Look at these idiots! They can't even fly."
See, this is what I'm talking about. We should just be kismet in this. Like, your whole race is gone, and you're just the last one left, and I'm a single guy. Just trying to get home so I could, get married like maybe 4 or 5 times because I just want to get married at least once. That's it. Just once.
I mean, as someone who's in a committed relationship, someone engaged, I will say it rules and it's better than anything I've ever experienced. So I get it. But just, maybe have a little empathy for me.
All right. I'm sorry.
That's all I'm saying. So before our next meeting, let's go over some of your action items. You're going to, if you need something from Bulma, what are you going to do?
I'm going to, I guess, ask Master Roshi instead.
That's a little passive aggressive.
Okay.
By a little, I mean a lot.
I'll talk to Bulma.
Mm-hmm. And a text is fine if that's a little easier for you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
She won't give me a capsule.
Oh my God.
So how do I text her?
How do you? Yeah. This seems like more of a you don't have any money thing, and now I'm wondering how you're going to pay for this session.
Do you take third place checks from Tenkaichi tournaments?
Do I?
8 years ago?
That might have expired. That might not be good anymore. But if
Roshi said it was good.
Yeah, I'm like that bar that like if you bring in a residual check, you get a free drink.
Oh, yeah. No, they're
it's literally called residuals.
But on Papaya Island, it's called the Fight Club.
Ooh, I mean, yeah, only 10. You know what? Yeah, I've been in. You know what? I can go. I just never went because of the.
Because you nearly blew up most of the island.
I mean, I was gonna say because I was kind of a loner then, and I preferred to like stare at people through windows like a little creep. But I've gotten over those issues, and you can too, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Once you pay me.
And how much is the session?
It's let's see. I have no need for money or food or shelter. A key.
So what I'm hearing is solar flare.
Not again.
And
see, Tien did that to me.
Tien did that in the last session.
Yeah.
They're all coming in. Like, solar flare.
Yeah, we were trying to talk about his intimacy issues. It was a group session, and I asked him hard questions, and he's out of there.
Don't get me started about when I talk to Launch.
That's... Yeah,
Smoke grenade launcher. It's coughing for months.
Well, I told her, I was like, I think you need to see like an actual psychiatrist. I don't think I'm equipped for some of these issues.
Then she sneezed and cried.
Mm-hmm.
that sneezed again and shot.
It was a two-way. It was a breakthrough on both ends. She broke through my skin.
And see,
Therapy's fun.
therapy is fun. No, therapy is work. You should all do the work.
Let's.
But moving on.
I mean, that's not a bad bit of. Let's get these DBZ characters into some sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Let's help them out. I mean, they're power. They can, they can fight the most powerful beings in the universe, but can they fight their own mental issues?
Right here and right here, man.
Mhm.
The hardest battles. Piccolo's a master at it because he usually does mental training.
Yeah.
He's always self-examining. He can even split up, talk to himself about things.
Yeah, that's how he does those sessions. I'm not paying for therapy. It's too fucking expensive. I know.
But Aaron, you know what we have to get to.
I know.
The oops, I saw something I shouldn't have. Starts with Krillin looking up, trembling, simply trembling. Can't even get it out. Piccolo's the next one to see, then Gohan, then Goku, and I'm gonna do my best shocked anime voice. Frieza!
They all say it in unison.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's right, boys. I'm back. Half a tail and a damaged eye, but I'm alive. Pew pew.
Yes, and Frieza is alive and immediately tries to take Goku out with a finger laser blast, but our boy Piccolo sacrifices himself. He takes a hit to the chest, and this one hurt me. This one hurt me when Gohan is kneeling and lets out the scream of Piccolo. Oh, it hurt. It hurt. It hurt.
It hoits.
It hurts. And King Kai puts his spin on it. Poor Piccolo. Poor Piccolo. Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Get it? Poor Piccolo. Tee. Sorry. I'm nervous, so I'm making jokes.
King Kai, come on. My third eye is bleeding. For Piccolo.
Sorry. It's an uncomfortable situation. You guys can't come back to life now.
Don't remind me. Also, didn't you teach him the Genki Dama? I thought that was supposed to end it all.
Wait, now you're blaming the teacher? It's a poor carpenter who blames his tools, Tien.
Well,
Harrison Ford taught me that one. Do you know he was a carpenter before he became an actor?
I heard he was a great fighter.
Yeah, great with a blaster or a whip.
Yeah, I thought about naming my technique the three whips technique, but witches just rolled off the tongue better.
Plus, Willow Smith was like,
I didn't want
copyright, baby.
I didn't want any piece of that copyright beef.
Oh yeah, the Smith family, Hollywood royalty. You can't mess with them.
The whole lot of them, and that the Jaden, he's got that song, "Feeling Like Goku." Where's the one for the rest of the Z fighters?
I mean, come on, Tien.
Yeah, where's the feeling like Yamcha? I've got bars for that.
That's what I say when I'm on the toilet. Kratom.
Ow!
Like just really like
That
really sick.
hurt.
It's coming out of both ends. Sprawled on the floor.
Oh my, King Kai!
Mm-hmm.
You can stop now. I
Like,
get it.
You're like, I'm talking the force of it spins you around like a Beyblade.
Oh my.
Feeling like Yamcha.
Oh. You know what?
Keep going, King Kai. I love this shit.
Chaozu. Chaozu.
Yeah, high five, Chatsu, you little freak. Fucking dude, I'm gonna miss you the most when you're gone.
King
You little
Kai, we're
weirdo.
right here, man.
Look, Frieza's back. We're all fucked. Who cares? Whatever. It's like the end of Don't Look Up. That's what I'm saying. It's just do whatever.
Wow, King Kai, you really did a 180.
I mean, look, Frieza. What do you think is going to happen when he takes over the universe? He's going to come for the afterlife next.
He can do that?
I assume.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
Cool.
Chaozu.
Chaozu, like, I love your devilish stuff, but you are trying to text Frieza to get on his good side now. I don't appreciate that. 1, you went through my phone to get his number. 2, you're switching sides.
Chaozu, I don't know what to do with you. I got half a mind to give you some of my wolf fang fist.
I'd like to see you try. How about I give you a little, feeling like Yamcha? Psychic power. He's spinning like a Beyblade.
Now that's what I call 4 witches.
Wolfang, fuck me. It's scene.
And seed. Is that a t-shirt? Wolfang, fuck me.
Maybe. Let us
Maybe.
know.
And it's that image from like the second martial arts tournament where Yamcha's like holding his balls.
Oh, not him puking and pooping at the same time. You don't want that on a shirt.
Maybe we come out with 2 versions. We'll see what hits, and then we'll we'll keep on going.
Hold a contest.
That's right. Send in your shirt designs for Wolfang Fuck Me to kamehousepartypod@gmail.com.
Humana.
Winner of the contest is announced during our variety show on the 24th.
None of that will happen.
None of that will happen.
There's it's all right. Let's get serious.
Yes.
What is it?
Piccolo is down.
Mm-hmm. Goku yelling at the boys to fucking leave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gohan, with his newfound confidence, says, "No, I want to fight." Frieza is like, "You think I'm letting any of you get off this planet alive?" Ball of energy
Ooh.
attached to Krillin. Krillin just freaking out.
Yeah.
Levitates, his arms and then all of a sudden he yells out, we've all seen it. He just yells out Goku's name. There's a split second where you actually see Krillin, his body gets bigger because it's like, oh no, the explosion's coming from the inside.
Yeah. It's not pretty. I remember the line being Goku help, but in mine it was just help me, and then
I straight up, it was just Goku.
So maybe this is the Mandela effect at work, or a version of I'm remembering the Ocean dub being aired on US TV or whatever. But this scene, I know I cried when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I know I
my
had to cry when
God.
I was a kid because it's one of the more gruesome deaths for a character that we see. Like, we've seen characters disintegrated by blasts. Vegeta's really good at that. But we've also seen people get their holes punched in their chest. And that seems real rough too. Vegeta's snapping necks all over Namek. But this one, because it's our boy Krillin, because it's just it hits so hard, and it's not nice.
I think because it's part of it is definitely just remembering in the past, watching it on TV as it came out, and especially now where we're looking at it this is like so hopeless, this moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what has happened? No, they won. They're supposed to win. What are we doing?
The spirit bomb, it's a trump card. It wins every time.
Mm-hmm. It did it one time, so it has to do it all the time.
But even that one time, it didn't kill Vegeta.
Yeah.
But I think I felt at that time, like retroactively, it was like, well, Vegeta wasn't all bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why it didn't completely destroy him. But this one, I was like, this is the baddest dude in the universe. Genocidal maniac and chronic planet blower upper. And he's supposed to be gone. Gone, but he's back. And it's like, well,
yes.
Gohan's not strong enough. Goku's got nothing left in the tank. There's no Piccolo. There's no backup coming. Bulma's not going to jump in there and help, right? I threw a Bulma in there to try to make myself laugh, and it didn't even work because this sucks.
But I wanted to let you take the next part because it's still whips ass, man. This still rules. Please take it away.
So we kind of get little flashes kind of within all these scenes of people dying, and Goku is just seething with anger. Just as a character, we have not seen Goku this angry, this furious. And he says, I won't let you get away with this. And then it's just the skies darken, lightning strikes, the seas become just undulating masses of energy. The ground is shaking. Things are levitating. Goku is Frieza. It's just a really great performance by a voice actor to make everyone who watches this feels it, feels the pain, the anger, and then the flashes of gold. The aura grows. Frieza, his one good eye is open wide. He's astonished by the power that he's witnessing come out of this Saiyan monkey, this Super Saiyan, because that's what he becomes. Goku becomes the Super Saiyan. Oh God, what is this? 254 episodes of this podcast? We just got here.
We're finally here on this very long journey. It's again, it still rules. It rocks. It was a thing they've been, again, remembering it from my youth, the thing they were teasing, and everyone was excited because which is really like, when you think about it, it's just like, well, he turned blonde, and that's the thing. But like the following it and all the story and all the lead up to it with like Vegeta teasing it, and just the toughest fight that Goku's ever been through and the hopelessness of this moment. It's like, yes, now is the perfect time to transform in a way that like we have never seen any character do before.
I at the time I had never seen anything like this. You know, the closest equivalent was like when a Pokemon evolved on my Game Boy. And I was like, hell yeah, this Charizard rules.
But even that, it wasn't like it never happens mid-fight.
No.
Which is, does it? No.
It's always after battle.
They should add that. If it happens mid-fight, there's more drama in it.
Aaron, now you got Mega Evolutions in there and stuff like that. So you can Mega Evolve.
That's true. I mean, that doesn't feel... But they shrink back afterwards, so I don't know.
It's always temporary, the Mega Evolutions or the Giga Evolutions, where they just become giant.
The Super Saiyan of Pokemon. But this rules. There's like a bunch of relief that we're finally here for sure.
I have to ask you, was there any noticeable music changes? Because I think the music in this episode did a lot for me in the lead up It played all of our victory themes that we're familiar with. It played like all of the, hey, we're wrapping up this arc theme. This could be the end of the episode music leading in. But what I didn't get in mine, the music didn't feel like it accompanied the transformation in the same way that I remember in my head. And that could have been because what was aired was something licensed or a little different or what have you. Because like in my mind, there's like that like low like doo-doo-doo, and then when the fight's about to start, it's like that guitar sting. But I didn't get any of that. I got the classic battle theme in mind.
That's also what I got. Just
Okay.
that bombastic, like horns
Mhm.
and all that. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's like yeah. I didn't get no music change, which
Okay.
I'm. Is there? I don't know if there's a Super Saiyan theme. We'll see.
I feel like there is, but I again, I don't think it's the same. I'm probably misremembering like an older Super Saiyan theme than what we listened to here on this episode for this transformation sequence. But it's so cool. Oh, it's so cool.
And there's a little hope left because Goku yells at Gohan and like, you take Piccolo, who's barely alive, you get him on that ship and you leave, and Gohan wants to argue. And Goku's just like, please, while I still have some reason left in me. It's like,
So
uh-oh.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that. I remember that line because part of the whole Super Saiyan transformation is like he kind of loses all reason because he's
Yeah.
consumed with battle and overtaken by his Saiyan rage, what have you. That was like lie dormant because of that bump on his head, Superman style, all the way those years ago when we started this GD podcast. But yeah, I was waiting for to hear what is it, Sean Semel's Semel, is that how you say his last name?
Sure.
I was waiting for him to say that, to say, well, I still have some reason left. Get out of here. But not in my version.
I mean, maybe there's an email that might elucidate that, but we'll see.
Gotcha.
But that's it, man. I mean, well, Bulma's still alive. I think we see that.
Yeah, Bulma's still hanging around that evil frog that, if given the opportunity, will take her body. Just throw him into the water.
Just get it. No, that's where he lives.
Oh, crap.
They
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that.
Shit. He's an amphibian. I forgot.
The sky is the only place. They can't live
Garo.
there.
Garo?
But it's, ooh boy, I'm ready for some talking and some charging. But we've crossed this. It feels, yeah, it does feel like a moment for the podcast and for the show. Like we've crossed over into this new territory for Dragon Ball.
And it feels so good.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. Like, man, we're almost at modern Dragon Ball times.
I mean that's also the part of it is like, ooh, we're getting closer to Trunks and androids and cells and that amazingness.
Goku talking about Yardrat and
Hung out with a bunch of aliens.
got this cool suit, kick-ass suit.
We're gonna talk about heart disease.
An important Dragon Ball PSA about heart
Yeah.
disease, the leading killer of people ever.
Chi-Chi, unbeknownst to her, she's slowly killing him. All that salt she puts in that food.
It's probably by Goku's request, though. You gotta,
he's definitely adding more. His Super Saiyan senses, they need it.
super saline senses.
Well, that's how we end it. You can't beat that. So we'll go into some emails. Master Researcher Nick has written to us again with some KHP research. Hey, Vince and Aaron, real quick, since this is the last hurrah for the Ginyu Force, I wanted to share this clip that I've had since Goldo died that I'm surprised has not become a bigger meme. And there's a little video attached to this, so we will play this here as I vamp. Okay, definitely making
So
sure.
it's something where Guldo, like after Guldo is beheaded by Vegeta?
Something,
what we're
yeah,
talking about?
something in the Dragon Ball in that sort of part. But let's see. Let me make sure this is the correct thing to
But
upload.
But I'm glad that we're taking a look at a possible meme, just because the memes that have come from this era of Dragon Ball are mostly the Goku Catch Me one, like the dub. Goku Catch Me! Oh! From like last episode. I've seen a couple of I think little like short AMV stuff that I've been doing on Reels. I've seen some clips of like the Gohan versus Frieza kind of fight. But of things I remember in my youth seeing AMVs of, it would be this scene this episode
Just
and this
always
transformation
charging
to like Linkin Park. Or,
oh yeah, this is if I think this is the platonic ideal of a Linkin Park AMV. is
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
scene. But let's see what Raccoon's doing. So this is labeled Innocent Raccoon's Peak.
Do any of you guys feel not so fresh?
It is a good one.
Oh, that I think Nick might have written in before, and I don't know if we read it on air or not.
Okay.
About that from that an old ass, I think, tampon commercial is where
Yes.
where that gag comes from.
Something like that. Yeah. Do you feel so? It gives me nowadays. I think of that. I think of Charmin or the Pine Sol lady.
Or those fucking bears.
We haven't talked about the bears.
We have not talked about the bears in a minute. Nick continues. The second is related to the fated transformation by Goku into a Super Saiyan. This is an audio-only clip, but it's just a great highlight reel of Sean Shammel's performance in Kai. We get 2 cases of Goku saying something other than, "How dare you," as well as urging Gohan to leave the planet. All right, so we'll play this. How long are you? Okay, that's short.
You ruthless, heartless bastard! I will make you suffer! Do as I tell you right now before I lose what little sense of reason I have left!
Ooh, getting little goosey bumps, honestly, from that.
I mean, he's
Calling
the
him a
voice of Goku
bastard.
for a reason. Call him a bastard.
Bastard. Me? I have a papa. What are you talking about?
You won't when I'm done with you. Ah!
What, are you going to kill my dad too?
Sure, I'll put him in an icebox.
He'd love it. He's King Cole. He loves that shit. I would. If one episode is just them like trying to one-up insult themselves, like middle schoolers, wouldn't hate it.
Put those two on it. Look, bring back Yo Mama and have it just be voice actors from like famous shows come on and play their characters and do Yo Mama.
That's. I mean, I think we got a hit on our hand. At least it's at least a CISO series.
Oh yeah.
That very famous and still around.
Look, we can
streaming
bring
platform.
it back with that alone. You know, we get who is it? Who was hosting Yo Mama? Wilmer Valderrama.
Wilmer Valderrama, yeah.
Yeah, Valderrama.
Just for I think we talked about this before. It's just for the rhyme.
It's just for the rhyme. He was not a great host. I say for this new iteration, we bring Ludacris in.
That would be good.
Because he's hot off of hosting Fear Factor.
And he has to wear the big fist with like a big microphone in the hand.
Oh my God, absolutely. But it's a gag
required.
every time he brings it up into camera.
It's with him every time we cut to him, it's a different situation where big hands would be a detriment. So it's like he's trying to wash dishes and he's breaking them all. He's
like, this is what some of your mamas be doing in the kitchen.
It's like, he's like, I got a big audition and I got to look great. And he's like trying to tie a tie with those big fists.
And it's just, you hear like the rubber. It's just,
Ratings drop immediately every time Ludacris is on camera. It's like they don't want this.
but it's streaming on Season.
That's where they cut off. All right. Before we get too deep into the development of that project, last paragraph. Nick says, lastly, I just want to praise the scene as a whole. Watching this again really took me back to my childhood, back when I didn't use the internet, and honestly thought Krillin was gone for good this time. Really helps sow Goku's frustration and makes it all work. Keep fighting, Master Researcher Nick. Thank you. Thank you for these
Thank
little
you, Nick.
tidbits.
That was helpful
And
informative. And also, I feel the same way. Like what I'm remembering is like, I think I was around 5th grade when this stuff was really popping off. And it was like on the, out on the blacktop talking about the episode of Dragon Ball from the other night or whatever. It's like, so Krillin's like dead. Like he's already died once and been brought back to life. Like even if they get out of this, they can't bring him back. But Goku went Super Saiyan finally.
but Goku's it's a thing they said. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
It is weird, like how hype we got for it. Because technically, if you're following along with the show, that's all we like. It's mentioned like 20 episodes ago, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even know it was a thing. But I think maybe art we might have seen in other Dragon Ball stuff shows him blonde. It's like, wait, why is Goku blonde?
Mm-hmm. Or why is his hair standing up like that?
Yeah,
I don't
explain
get
this.
It. Yeah. This has to be some like, or like, I think there was even more disparity or the perceived disparity or differences between like the versions. And it's like, oh, well, the one in Japan is like completely different than what we're getting and stuff like that. That's just all we knew.
Mm-hmm.
And now looking back on it, it's like, it's great. I wonder what the ratings were like for this exact episode airing in the States. Like how big it was.
It had to be bonkers.
Because like you said, we didn't even know what we were waiting for. And then when it showed up, it's like, oh, he's blonde and blue haired.
And this rules, yeah.
And I don't know why, but I want to get up and fight something. I'm gonna kill Frieza. I'm gonna go Super Saiyan. All I have to do is get angry enough. I'm gonna do that in my room for 45 minutes every night and see if I can do it.
It's like, I think I can be. Yeah, I'm pretty angry. We can do this.
I'm angsty.
But just wonderful episode of both the show we're watching and the show we're making. Thank you all so very much for writing in and listening and following along. You can if you want to send us some research, if you want to send us your own 1 minute roundup, that's you clenched teeth like you're charging up to be a Super Saiyan. That's fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Send that in.
There's 7 magic crystal balls.
Yeah, please don't have an aneurysm. But
Kame House Party is not responsible for your aneurysm.
Yeah, so you can send everything but an aneurysm to kamehousepartypod@gmail.com. Every Thursday night we're streaming over on Twitch, 8 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/kamehouseparty. We talked about it in the commercial. We have our comedy show coming up on the 24th on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Please come to that and support some live comedy.
Yeah. Support live comedy. Support Kame House Party. If you got it, head on over to patreon.com/Kame House Party, and you can get access to our Kame House Party pre-games, a bonus episode where Aaron and Vince talk about whatever we want, and it's fun. And with all that, it's time to wrap up this episode. One for the books, history books, your notebooks, the books that sit on rocks. But look, no matter if you are talking through your teeth all the time to try to become a Super Saiyan, or You're counting the days till you're back home with your mommy. You gotta keep fighting. God.
Oh, I can relax.
Yummy, yummy.